A brand new season of Survivor kicked off last week, and producer Charlie and I are breaking down everything that happened during the premiere, so let's get to it. All right, so we start with this opening challenge. Before we get into the challenge really quick, I want to say, I feel like there's always this very kind of like impactful opening every year, and this time it was Tevin kind of like narrating while the boats were coming into the ocean, and first of all, his voice I could listen to all day. It's very like Morgan Freeman vibes, you know what I'm saying? And he's also an actor, so I think he just innately has it. But that was a really cool opening that they did, and I thought it was very well done. Okay, so this opening challenge, we see the three tribes meet on the beach for the first time. Jeff does the typical kind of conversation with them, getting to know a few of them. Then they go into the challenge. Walk me through this challenge.
So the challenge, they have to, two at a time, go through this rope mud course, basically.
Obstacle course, whatever.
Grab two puzzles, run it back, and then do that until they have all the puzzle pieces. Then two of them have to put the puzzle piece together into this weird cube almost, pyramid-esque thing, and then somebody has to climb on top, use their stick to get the key off of, we've seen that challenge many times where they get the key off there, and then that's it.
Yeah, and then as we've kind of seen in this new era, the thing after the opening challenge is the losers have to compete in the sweat or savvy challenges to gain their, is it flint or just materials back at camp? I can't remember the difference,
but it depends on, because I think the first two teams in the opening got their flint, and then the losing team didn't, so they could have competed for them.
Yeah, so real quick, the sweat versus savvy, the only important thing here is that the purple tribe with Jolinsky and Q, they did the, I guess it was the sweat. Jolinsky, this is the first time we see him kind of like buck up as like, oh, I'll take this on, I'll be the man on the tribe, and then totally quits and is like a sore loser about it, which is like super annoying.
And then he takes the hourglass
and
throws it. And I'm like, there's glass all over the beach now.
Yeah,
like,
but also, mind you, this is partner work. So now Q has a horrible, like,
it puts a bad image on
Q.
a
bad image on him because one, they think it's going to be his fault, but also Q now thinks probably very low of Jolinsky for just quitting like that. Super annoying. The next kind of big thing in the premiere was the journey. So we've seen this done in very different kind of iterations throughout the new era. This one I actually really enjoyed. So you had Maria, Tevin, and Jolinsky go to take the journey to the kind of isolated island. And this time they each have to pick up a card. One is a fire, one is a skull, one is a torch.
Well, you know you said fire.
Yeah, a skull. I don't know what the other one was. But anyway, the way it works is the person that picks up, I believe, the fire, they're like safe or however that works. And then the other two, the one that has the skull, you're trying to fake out the person that has the...
It's like a scroll or something.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, the point is that there's an advantage here. So if you're telling the truth, you get an extra vote. If you're not, you potentially lose a vote. Anyway, Jolinsky totally messes this up again. So the second time we see him mess up in the premiere. This man's a hot mess.
Well, he basically gives up again.
Yeah, so from this challenge, Maria and Tevin get an extra vote. So then what's interesting is we kind of go back and we look at camp life, and we're seeing back on the purple tribe, which is where Jolinsky and Q are. So they're very strongly highlighted in the premiere. You have Tiffany and Kinsey, I think it is. They're kind of this very strong female duo that we're seeing kind of emerge throughout. So Tiffany is looking around for an idol, and she finds what she thinks is an idol, but it's actually kind of different. So it's a beware advantage. But then she finds this, what is it?
She had to like decode a message.
Yes.
And then the message told her where to find a lockbox.
Yes.
But then she has to wait.
You have to lose immunity to be able to get access to the actual key, or to the immunity idol. So it's just like very complicated. But through this, you will see that Tiffany and Kinsey are very, very strong players, at least how it shows in the premiere. So then we move on to the immunity challenge, which was very exciting. This was wild. We've never really seen something like this, at least not in the last few seasons.
I thought it was refreshing.
It was very fun, I thought. And major kudos to the art department on Survivor, because this was really cool to see as a viewer. So all the tribes have to take this massive, who even knows how much it weighs?
He said 500
pound. Okay, yeah, I'm out on that. But they had to kind of, again, take it through this obstacle course. That's very standard Survivor challenge. But they had to carry it through, and then at the end, obviously complete a puzzle. This is where we see Jolinsky mess up for the third time. Because obviously the last team to complete the challenge is the one that ends up going to tribal. Jolinsky and Jess, I think is her name. They end up doing the puzzle. He cannot figure it out. They lose. But this challenge was very fun to watch. I like to put that out there. So then we go to Tribal Council, and here's the thing. It's kind of funny because it seems like it's between Jess and Jolinsky. And with Jess, we're kind of learning that she has I want to say it's like ADHD, right? Really bad. And so her attention's bad. She loses things really quickly. She can't remember a lot.
She hasn't slept at all since they've been on the
she's very, very like just lethargic on the island. There's just not everything's working for her. So Jolinsky's the one that ends up getting voted out by a majority, by the way.
And I would have been disappointed if it wasn't.
This man is a hot mess. He played so hard in 3 days that he was out there, but he rightfully went home. But I do have to say, this season premiere was very, very strong. There will be another 2-hour episode this Wednesday on CBS, and then of course streaming on Paramount Plus. So do not miss it. Excited to see where this season goes because it had a really strong start.
Very.
Yes. All right.